Essay 299 Responsibility of Joint Auditor. When two or more auditors are appointed for audit of financial statement for an organization, it can be termed as joint auditor. Audit planning, risk assessment, and allocation of work. A. Joint auditors shall jointly establish an overall audit strategy that states the scope, timing, and direction of audit. It will also guide in the development of audit plan. While developing the audit joint audit plan, the joint auditor shall consider the following factors: identify division of the audit areas and common audit areas, ascertain the reporting objectives of the engagement, communicate among all joint auditors that factors are significant, consider the result of preliminary engagement activity or similar engagement performed earlier, ascertain the nature, timing, extent of resources necessary to accomplish the engagement. Joint auditors shall obtain a common engagement letter and a common MRL. In common engagement letter, it is important to identify allocation of work among the joint auditors. Such documentation of allocation of work will help in avoiding any disputes or confusion among the joint auditors. Risk of material misstatements need to be considered and assessed by each joint auditor and should be communicated to other auditors for specific areas allocated to them. Responsibility of joint auditor. Joint responsibilities, individual responsibilities. Joint responsibilities. Joint auditors are jointly and severally responsible for the following: for audit, for the audit work which is not divided among the joint auditor and it's covered out by all joint auditors, for examining that the financial statement complies with the requirement of relevant statutes, applicable laws and regulation, for examining whether financial statement comply with the presentation and disclosure requirement as per applicable FRF, for ensuring that the audit report complies with applicable SS, relevant provision of Companies Act and other procurement issued by issue, for decision taken by all the joint auditors under audit planning in respect of common audit areas concerning the nature, timing, extent of audit procedure to be performed by each joint auditor. Matters which are brought to the notice of all joint auditors by any one of the joint auditor and there was an agreement among all joint auditors on such matters. Note number 2. Each joint auditor is individually responsible for the following: determine the nature, timing, extent of audit procedure to be performed for specific areas allocation to them, for executing the above audit procedure, for maintaining appropriate audit documentation, audit reporting and conclusion. Joint auditors should issue a common audit report. However, in case of disagreement, a joint auditor is not bound by the views of majority of the joint auditors. Therefore, he can express his opinion on the separate audit report only in case of disagreement. In case of separate report, auditors should include a reference that a separate audit report is issued by other joint auditor under the other matter paragraph. Before modifying their opinion or including EOM or OM matter in the audit report, auditor should communicate to TCWJ and management about the same. Advantages and disadvantages of joint auditors. Advantages: sharing of expertise, advantage of mutual consultancy, lower workload, better quality of performance, improve service to the client, lower staff development. Disagreement. Disadvantages: the fees being shared, psychological problem where firms of different standing are associated with the joint audit, general superiority complex of some auditors, problem of coordination of the work, areas of work of common concern being neglected, uncertainty about the liability of the work done.